Okay, so hello again. So this will be, I think, the last video because we already solved everything. So now we just need to put this one in a table. Now, solving for the mean and standard deviation will answer your SOP number 2, which is there a significant difference in the responses? Again, this is just for the responses since we cannot really get the difference since we don't have the tools. So we'll just try to solve for the responses, if how far or how close your answers are. So we have here, this will be the table that you're going to use. So you have here the mean, we have the standard deviation, the n, and the interpretation. So let's solve for you already solved for the mean. Now go back to the solvings that you have. Your mean is, we have 3.8. So you write it here, the mean, which is 3.8, and the standard deviation. Standard deviation would be the one that we solved just a while ago. That's 0.57. So that's 0.57. While others, they have like around 4 digits. So you can actually have that as well. So 0.57, that's 0.57008, I think, for yeah, 0.57008. So you can use 0.57, and the n, again, as always, n will be the number of respondents that you have. So I have 5. Now, how am I going to interpret this one? You have to check the mean, that's 3.8, and 0.57 for the standard deviation. If you analyze this one, the standard deviation is lower compared to the mean, or lower than the mean. So meaning to say the interpretation would be not significant. Okay, not significant. Now, why not significant? Remember, in the reference that I read, uh, if the standard deviation is lower than the mean, that will be not significant because the answers of the respondents are not far from each other. Meaning to say, their answers are close or closer, or yeah, their answers are close to one another. It's not scattered, so that's not significant. Meaning to say, there is no, if your hypothesis is there is no significant difference in the responses, so, and you have the interpretation not significant, all you need to do in your conclusion is to accept your hypothesis because it's indeed not significant. There is no difference at all in the responses because the respondents are close with each other. Okay. However, let's say, for example, ma'am, if, for example, the standard deviation is higher, let's say the standard deviation is 3.80 or 3.9, let's say. If the standard deviation is higher than the mean, it means significant. The interpretation, again, would be significant because the interpretation would be the answers of the respondents are far from each other, meaning to say it's scattered. So if your hypothesis is there is no significant difference, and once you solve everything and the interpretation is significant, meaning to say you have to reject your hypothesis because the answer, your hypothesis, is not the same with the result. Okay, so that would be not significant. That would be you have to reject once your hypothesis did not match with your interpretation here. Always remember, again, once the standard deviation is lower than the mean, that's not significant. And this is in terms of the responses. And once the standard deviation is higher than the mean, that would be significant. And you check your hypothesis. Try to compare your hypothesis with the one here in your interpretation part. Once it did not match, meaning to say you have to reject your hypothesis. Once you have the same interpretation and the same hypothesis, therefore you need to accept your hypothesis, and that will be found or seen or indicated in your conclusion. So I think that's it. So if you have any questions, you may just simply, I don't know if the comment section will function, or I mean it will be open for everybody, but if not, you just feel free to send me a message. Okay, so again, disclaimer, I'm not saying that I'm really good in research, but again, this is just how we do. Especially, I do have as well my reference, so if you have, let's say, confusions because in the other reference it's this is this, feel free to ask or to tell me so that we can double check as well all the resources, and we can simply ask or seek advice from other people, especially those experts. Okay, So thank you so much again for watching, and I hope that you've learned something out of these videos that I uploaded. So I think that's it. So thank you so much and have a great day, and keep safe, and bye bye.